Welcome back to today's video. I wanted to, and I covered some of it in previous video, the importance of being yourself. Now, I covered some of it previously in the last video of how I am unapologetically me. But your vibe attracts your tribe. If you are looking to start an online business, the more content that you put out, like this, like on Instagram and on Facebook, the more likely you are to attract your ideal client. You have to see your social media profiles and YouTube channel, etc., like your shop window. By me putting and this is what we say to all of our real estate clients as well when we do video content with them, the majority, and it's still the biggest problem in the industry, is that people will not put themselves out there. They have this fear of being judged. And anyone, starting a new business, I remember, back to even before my drop shipping, I started network marketing with my then ex-wife, or my now ex-wife, my then wife. And I remember being worried about posting about toothpaste or face mask and it took me a while to get used to putting myself out there. And a lot of people struggle with it. And I'm here to say is that nobody really cares, especially those people that you think will, My biggest supporters are strangers, like-minded strangers off the internet, compared to people that know me. So honestly, people that actually know me, and I liken Facebook to people that you wish you weren't friends with, but and Instagram, people that you don't actually know in real life, but you have lots of things in common, and by me sharing my journey and putting myself out there, you attract people into your life and your orbit. And that's the beauty about the internet, is that you can find these sub niches of people that are like you, whether it's self-love, personal development. And what I've also noticed is, as I have got wealthy and I talk about myself as rich, and even that a lot of people will struggle with, because we are taught that in all of the movies, the rich people are the misers and the people that don't treat people very well. Money is just a tool, and it's this meaning that both society and Hollywood gives to it that have these negative connotations. But I've been talking about building wealth and becoming rich, and I've had so many of my old friends, unfollow me or, unfriend me. And I think even one kind of made a disparaging remark about me sharing, one of my oldest friends calls me Mr. Perfect because I like to go to bed early and I like to, eat well as much as possible, but I digress. By putting yourself out there, it allows your audience and people to either decide whether they like you or not. And you're never going to be able to get everybody to like you, so it's impossible. And don't succumb to what you think people want from. Just be yourself, unapologetically so, because the people that matter don't mind, and the people that mind don't matter. So yeah, the point I'm trying to make is, be yourself. You can't, everybody else is taken. You can't go wrong with being I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very, very deep. I love, the wonders of life, the meaning of life, what we're here to do, what we're here to, what my purpose is. And by me talking about that stuff, like the universe, for example, some people call it God, some people call it the universe. I talk about it heavily in all of my videos. Some people will be like, he is fucking off his head. And I'll be like, it works for me. And I love this idea of, I am just a vessel. I am here to help as many people as possible. And as a result of that, I get to experience all of these wonderful things. I moved into this place primarily because, not only for my environment, my self-image, my partner is now pregnant. So we want somewhere to give this baby the best start possible, but also for my kids to enjoy. Whilst we were in the Philippines recently, I got a room with one of these walkout pools, just so my team could come around and enjoy it. So I almost see what I do is how can I help as many people as possible, and as a byproduct of that I get to enjoy all of these wonderful things. It's not about me, it's about how can I help as many people as possible primarily, and as a result you then get, you know, more to help people with. But yeah, like from the clothes that I wear to the way that I talk, from the music that I'm into, up the old Oasis, I talk about Liam and Noel Gallagher, like I honestly don't care what people think, and it takes a while to get used to. And when you start putting yourself out there, of course, some people love you and some people hate you. You're gonna get some disparaging remarks. And what I've come to learn is that nobody is even remotely close to having their shit together. Not your mum, not your dad. Like, they only know what they know from the conditioning that they have. So, like, nobody can tell me anything about myself that I don't already know. But unless you are where I want to be, your opinion doesn't really hold water. And you have to build this iron self-confidence and this iron kind of unbreakable self-image of that I know where I'm going and it's just a matter of time until I get there. And you have to detach yourself from your deadbeat mates who want to go down the pub, that want to celebrate the week. Like, what are you celebrating? If you're not where you want to be, you're going to wake up tomorrow with a hangover, typically a snotty nose, banging headache, 5-day hangover, terrible eating choices, terrible thinking choices. You're not going to want to get up and go to the gym on the Monday. Drop your loser mates out, because like, until you start deciding the life that you want and cutting out everything that is not going to help you get there, you know, you're making the wrong choices. I am a prime example. You know, last June was the last time I went out on a 2-day bender. And that's something I used to do regularly. You know, I talk about my relationship with drink and drugs, who I was when I used to live on a council estate, and how I made money. Because all of that is completely transferable. You know, I refuse to be broke. I found ways, not always wholesome ways, of making money. And that fight or flight, you know, I now earn money legitimately, and that part of me, that hustle, that grind, that not willing to be broke, and you know, I learned a lot from that situation. That whole environment is kind of fuck or be fucked, or you know, people just diddling each other. Like, it's just all based on dishonesty. There is no honesty in that kind of game. So you learn, like, you become like that environment. I then started to, you know, I remember I wouldn't even say hello or goodbye. I'd go yeah or bye. Like, you wouldn't even say bye. And I just thought, like, who are we? Who have I become to be treating people like that? And that was because of the environment that I was in. So, you know, I didn't recognize that until I was out of it, you know, and again, I'm able to talk about it in that period of my life where my life was a mess for, you know, from 2002 till probably 2009, when, you know, my first son was born and I had to sort out my shit. So, you know, I talk about my kids, I talk about my checkered past. It is all relative. I'm both proud of it and have learned from those experiences, you know, and I just think you can't go wrong with being open and honest. I'm not trying to hide from anyone, you know, warts and all. I'm proud of everything. And I'm also, you know, token to say that your past does not equal your future. It's never too late to be who you might have been. You know, I didn't start focusing on my wealth until 38. And most millionaires, they don't start until late. You know, I think 45 is the average age of most millionaires. 100% I'll be a millionaire by 45. And I'm happy to talk about that. I'm happy to put that, you know, that flag in the ground and say, and own it, and not be shy by it. I don't shy away from calling myself rich or wealthy, because that's what I want to become. That's the whole point of moving into somewhere like this, you know, having the clients that I am, being able to invest in lovely homeware and my environment and flying first class. Too many people are fearful and think, oh my God, that's a dirty word and money's terrible. And But unless you sort out your relationship with money, that is never ever gonna change. So again, I've taken the scenic route. Today was really about just establishing, if you are going to build a personal brand or start an online business, you are gonna get some naysayers. You're gonna get people in your network that are thinking, oh, that's too risky, just get a job like the rest of us. You know, in fact, I had to change my environment and I had to leave my now ex-wife and family because I knew that nothing could grow in that environment. So I had to choose me. It was like, do I stay here and be dad, but continually butt heads with somebody, or do I establish my independence? And that was my biggest fear, was establishing my independence. Like, the obstacle is the way. You will find whatever is most painful to you is the way that you need to go. So whether you're scared to be alone or you're scared to live on your own, and that was me. So I was like, I need to go against everything that has kept me safe. I had to get out of my comfort zone and I had to establish my life and decide to go after it, because I knew that I couldn't be who I wanted to be. I couldn't share with ex-girlfriends. I couldn't have female friends, which I enjoy female company a lot more than the male ego-driven bollocks, because my then partner was very insecure, and you know, anytime I tried to do anything, my wings were being clipped, you know. So yeah, I had to give up that massive part of me, all I knew, to go out there on my own and fend for myself. And I didn't trust myself. I didn't know how to pay rent. I didn't know how to pay bills because I've never had to do it before. And in a lot of ways, and I've spoken about it lots before, my marriage was just an extension of parenthood. I was just a son, you know, and you know, that suited me then. I was looked after and I was, you know, had amazing dinners and stuff, and you know, in a lot of ways an amazing wife. But for where I wanted to go, I realized that no matter what I tried to do, there was a problem with it, and I was just like, this is too much. I can't do this any longer, and just ended up finding, you know, solace in somebody else. Yeah, and again, I'm not ashamed to speak about that. Yeah, so, you know, just to conclude, don't be afraid to be who you are, and there is, you know, like love, there is somebody out there for everyone, and there is a gap in the market for what you want to achieve and for somebody like you. Don't try and be the next guru. Don't try and, you know, learn from what they've done and use it as a framework, but don't try and copy and mimic, and find your own way. And that's really what has, you know, stood the test of time. And yeah. If you've watched this far, thank you so much. Like, comment and subscribe if you want to be notified of the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in, and ciao for now.